go ahead and start. So we're going to go in order, start with Mark. Mark claims that triangle ABC was reflected over the line y equals x. So who can remind me, what is the y equals x? What is that?
It's the diagonal line.
Good. And is it the positive one or the negative one?
The positive one.
Perfect. So we know that this is the line y equals x. And before I check it mathematically, I can just use my eyes to start with, because it's always good to use your eyes and then check everything mathematically. Now, what do you guys think? Is triangle ABC, was that flipped over this line? And if you say yes, tell me why. If you say no, tell me why.
Can you repeat the question?
So basically, I'm asking, do you think Mark is correct or incorrect?
Let me see.
I think he's correct. No, not Mark. Never mind, not Mark.
Okay, not Mark. Somebody else.
I don't think it's Mark.
You don't think it's Mark. Is there anyone who does think it's Mark and would like to argue against?
I don't know.
Let's go. I have 7 people on this call. I better hear 7 answers, not a bunch of ghosts.
Can you say the question again?
Is Mark correct?
I don't think it's Mark.
You don't think it's Mark? Okay, so far we have 3 no's. Does anyone out here think it might be Mark? Okay, so if you voted no, what is the reason? How come it's not Mark?
Because then it would be y comma x. I can't really see the numbers right now, but
remember what I said, don't use your math. I know you love to use your math, Perla. Use your eyes though.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Just use your eyes. What do you guys think? Maybe if one of you guys is a little more visual, what do you see that makes you think Mark is wrong?
Well, because I think, like, if it was reflected, I don't think that it would match up.
Okay, so what would not match?
The A?
Mm-hmm. So if I flip this triangle, if I folded this in half, where would A
A would be on C.
Right.
And C would be on A.
A would end up with C, and C would end up with A. And even though the triangle might match up, the letters themselves don't not
match up.
That's why Mark is wrong.
Yay.
Very good, Tyrone. Okay, so see what I mean? Did I have to do any math?
No, you just had to look at it.
You just had to look at it. And that's what's something that's very important, is that the labels really matter. So even if it looks like the 2 physical triangles might line up, the actual letters will not. So this is why Mark is incorrect. So I know that I can get rid of A, and what else can I get rid of?
C, because Mark is incorrect, so it can't be Mark plus Sarah.
Exactly. And now looking at the answers I have left, which of the students do I automatically know is correct? Even though I didn't look at it yet.
Sarah, because there's 2 of them.
Right, Sarah comes up twice, so I already know she's right. The only thing I need to check is whether Paul is correct. All right, so let's look at Paul. Paul says that triangle ABC was reflected over the x-axis and then reflected over the y-axis. Okay, so he's claiming that there's 2 possible transformations. First, you flip over the x, and then you flip over the y. Can somebody else read Sarah real quick? Even though we don't have to check her, let's just read her.
I read.
Mhm.
Triangle ABC was rotated clockwise 180 degrees with the origin as the center of the rotation.
Okay. Does anybody remember from a previous class? I think I said this last time. Does anyone remember something about how a 180-degree rotation is similar to something else? Perla.
When you reflect over the x and the y axis, it's like if you were doing a 180 degrees rotation.
Right, they're the same exact thing. So I'll say this one more time because I mentioned it last time, but I'll say it one more time. Let me write it up here. A 180-degree rotation is the same thing, so it equals a reflection over y and x. So it could go y first and then x second, or it could go the other way around. X goes first and then y goes second. Either way, you'll get to the same place. So before I'm not even looking at the graph yet. I'm just looking at these two answer choices and I'm realizing that they're both saying the same thing because Paul is giving us the two reflections and Sarah is giving us the 180 rotation. And I already remember that those are the same thing, but I can still check to make sure. So if the first thing I'm doing is reflecting over the x-axis, which quadrant will ABC end up in? If I reflect
Can you name the quadrants again? I
Sure.
keep forgetting.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Quadrant 3.
Quadrant 3, exactly. So when I reflect it over the x-axis, it's, again, I'm just using my eyes, but it'll be something like, something like this,
Yeah.
right? Which one's at the bottom? Which letter?
A.
Good. A prime, C prime, and B prime. So that's my first reflection. And then after that, I would have to go over the y-axis. And will these two triangles line up?
Yes, they will.
Yes, they will. So even if you didn't remember what I said in class, you could still use your eyes, use your sort of mental image to figure it out. Now, let's say you don't trust your eyes and you like to be a little more mathematical. What could you do to be completely certain? Even though it might take you a little extra time, what can you do to be completely certain?
Use your rules.
Use your rules, exactly. So you could start out just like we've done in a couple of classes. All right, you list all the coordinate points. So I know A is at -6, 8. And then I would do my reflection over the x-axis, which would do what? What would a reflection over the x-axis do?
A reflection over the x-axis would put it at
Or even just the general rule. Who remembers for a reflection over the x-axis, what happens?
The y becomes negative.
Good. So this would become -6, -8. And then I would do a reflection over the y-axis. And what happens when I do that?
The x becomes positive.
Mm-hmm. So that would become 6, -8. And then you would check, is that where my final A ended up?
yes.
Yes, it is. So you would know just by checking mathematically that it was in fact correct. So all of these strategies are valid, each one. If you're more visual, then trust your eyes. That's totally good. If you're more mathematical and you don't trust your eyes, then do the math and double check just to make sure. But in any case, do I have any questions on this problem?
No, I understand this one very well.
Good. All right, so today we're actually kind of doing the same sort of stuff that we've been doing with the transformations, but we're going to use it for a different purpose. So instead of me asking you, like, how do you get from one to the other, today we're going to be talking about something called congruence. So actually, this one wasn't in your textbook for some reason, but we're going to write it down. Congruence. Can I have a volunteer read for us the definition for congruence?
Me.
Go ahead.
Two plane figures are congruent if and only if one can be obtained from the other by a sequence of rigid motions, that is, by a sequence of reflections, translations, and or rotations.
Good. So we've kind of talked about this already, but we're putting a new word in our vocabulary list. So if something is congruent, what can you say about them? So if I tell you that these two quadrilaterals are congruent, what's another word for congruent?
Similar?
Similar. Are they just similar or are they literally the same?
Oh, they're identical.
Identical, exactly. So if you can kind of think about it this way, just remember that the word congruent is just another word for identical. They're exactly the same. You can only create two congruent figures if you do a reflection, a translation, and or a rotation. So what's left out of this list?
The wait. Wait, what do you mean?
What type of transformation is left out of that list that we've heard about in the past?
The enlargement thingy?
The
No, that's not
enlarge.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, that
That's
is?
number 3. That's the third picture.
Right. So let's go ahead and see. What we're going to do is we're looking at these three pictures. Let me give them names. So this is A, this one's B, and this one is C. So I want to know two things. First of all, I want to know, are they congruent? And then second of all, I want to know what transformation was used to prove that it is congruent. So starting with A, are they congruent?
Yes.
Good. These are congruent. What type of transformation was used to show that they are congruent? Was it a reflection, a translation, or a rotation?
Reflection?
I have one vote for reflection. What does everyone else think? Translation. Also, I saw Janelle's asked what you need to write, so go ahead and write down this whole sentence, and that's all you have to write. And Perla, yes, we're talking about A. So when you look at two figures like this, the first thing you want to notice is, are they facing the same direction?
Yes.
Right. So if you could physically pick one up and place it on top of the other one, how would you do that? Would you have to turn it at all?
No.
Right. So what type of transformation is one where you don't turn it?
Translating.
Translation?
Translation. Slide. Remember, a translation, go ahead.
It's like if they had like paint or something and you didn't want them to get smudged, so you took one off the other, like on top, and you put it somewhere else.
You put it somewhere else. You didn't move it, you didn't turn it, you didn't flip it, you didn't make it bigger, you didn't make it smaller. You literally just take it and move it. That's all this is. Okay? So that's a translation. What about B? Are they congruent or not?
Yes. Wait. Yes.
Yes? What do we got? What do we all think?
Wait, so congruent means identical.
Sorry,
Oh.
Tyrone.
No, you can go.
I was gonna ask if P, Q, R, and I don't know what order it goes in, but
That's okay.
if that is like the prime.
So in this case, this is what I'm saying. It's a little bit different because we're no longer going to do primes. These we kind of want to think about these as two separate figures. There's no image and pre-image. They're just two separate figures, and I want to know if they're congruent.
Yeah, I think they're congruent
You think they're congruent?
because they're the exact same shape.
Me too.
They're
Same
just
shape.
facing a different direction.
Okay, so they're facing a different direction. So what does that tell you? What could possibly be happening? Is this going to be a translation anymore?
No.
Okay, so if it's not going to be a translation, now we have to figure out if it's going to be a reflection or if it's going to be a rotation. So what do you guys, well, start thinking about which one of those it's going to be.
I think it's a rotation.
Tyrone votes for rotation. What does everyone else think?
I think it is a rotation as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like it's not identically like on the other side.
Okay.
It's more like rotate.
Yeah, it's like the last example we did.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's what I'm going off of. So I think it's a rotation too.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
rotation.
I have 2 votes for rotation. I have about 5 or 6 students who haven't spoken a word yet. So let's go, guys. Daniel says reflection. Okay, does anyone agree with Daniel versus agreeing with Tyrone and Perla? Because now we've got 2 sides. Which one is it going to be? And this one's hard because there's no numbers, right? No coordinate plane, no x and y axis, no numbers. So how on earth are we going to figure out which one it is? What do you guys think? What's a strategy I could use to try and figure out if it's going to be a reflection or if it's going to be a rotation?
Draw a line
Maybe
in
like
the middle.
move one of the points.
Okay, so I heard 2 things. Daniel said draw a line in the middle, and then Tyrone, what'd you say?
I said move like one of the points and see if they match up.
Okay, so that's literally, those were the 2 things I was thinking about. So let's actually look. If this is K, I'm going to label K purple. What letter on the other figure should I also label purple? Which ones line up?
P.
P, good. If I'm putting green on L, what other letter do I put green on?
Q.
Q. I'm going to label M as an orange. Where's that going to go? R.
And J is N.
And then J goes with N. Okay. Does that kind of help you visualize it a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make you, this goes for everyone who has answered so far. So Daniel, Tyrone, and Perla, do you have your same answer or have any of you changed your answer?
Same.
Same answer.
Same answer?
Same answer.
Okay. How could I go from K to P? Those purple ones line up. How do I get from one to the other?
Get a line in the middle and flip it.
Okay, so let's look. If I draw a line down the middle between these 2 figures, turn your head over, and visualize what would happen if I folded it in half along that line. Would they line up?
Yes. Yes.
Daniel says yes. Do you guys agree? Tilt your head. If you folded it up, would they line up? They sure would. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm right.
So Daniel was
it is
right.
a reflection.
Yeah, because K would line up with P when you fold it. J would fold over and line up with N. And all the other ones would also line up. So that's the hard thing. It's actually kind of tricky to know the difference between, or to visualize the difference between a reflection and a rotation. But sometimes strategies like this might help you out. So good job, Daniel. You had it.
Easy.
So this one was a reflection.
Yeah, I was pretty convinced at first that was rotation, but then I had to look at the points and then I saw that they
Me
matched.
too.
Yeah.
I was doing the same thing Tyrone was.
Yeah, you guys
That's
are
okay.
very...
We all make mistakes.
No, and that's good. It's good to make this mistake, because if you didn't make it, then I would not be able to go over it. All right, now the last one. Are they congruent?
No,
Good. How do you know?
No,
because like
same size.
Not the same size. So what
what
type of
he said,
transformation? Perla, you mentioned this before. What type of transformation was
enlargement.
this? And the more precise word that we use is dilation.
Oh yeah.
Dilate. Remember, like when you go to the eye doctor, they put a thing in the drops in your eye to dilate your pupils.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mistake, what is the flashlight for then? Like they be shining this flashlight in my eyes that are almost
For
go
the
blind.
same reason, when you shine a light in your eyes, your pupils will dilate.
Trying to leave me blind.
Okay, so now we have a coordinate plane. Things are a little bit easier to visualize. These should be pretty easy. So I want you guys to shout this out. First, are they congruent?
Yes.
Do we agree? Use your eyes. Are they congruent?
Yes.
I have 2 in agreement. Anyone else? Janelle says yes. Okay, Emily says yes. Cool.
Yeah, they're the same size.
Same size, same shape, same everything. What type of transformation was used to get from one to the other?
A reflection.
Be as
Over the
specific.
y-axis.
Good. Perfect. What did I just write? Transformance? Who am I?
Smart Tyrone.
Transformation.
Yes.
Good, Tyrone. So you always want to give a full answer. And like Tyrone said, this is a reflection across the y-axis. Boom, done. Any questions on this one?
Nope. Yes, I am on point.
Okay, here's another. Take a look. Are these congruent?
Yes.
Yes.
Size, same shape. They're just in different locations.
Okay, different locations. I have 2 yeses. Do I have any no's? 3 yeses. Can I get a 4th?
Yes.
All right, Emily says yes. So yes, they are congruent. What type of transformation?
Rotation.
Rotation. 90-degree rotation. Clockwise.
Good.
Yeah.
And in this case, let's just say that we're going from ABC to XYZ, not the other way around.
Okay. So oh yeah, 90. Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
90 degree, counterclockwise.
Miss, you know what this reminds me of? Like you know those talent shows where you need the song? That's what that reminded me of.
Okay, now I'm going to give you one more thing. We're going to go over this more on Thursday, but I might as well teach it to you now because it's pretty easy.
Yes.
You know how I was telling you, all right, so if I make this one red, which other one is red?
X?
X. Good. If I make B green,
Y.
that goes with Y.
And C is Z.
And C is Z. Okay. So the way that you write, the order in which you write your letters matters, because what we're going to be doing in a couple of lessons, maybe even tomorrow, is we're going to be writing congruence statements. That's actually really easy. So there's a symbol we're going to learn. And let me just show you what it looks like first.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so this congruence statement is just another, it's a visual way, a mathematical way, representation of saying the same thing. All I'm saying here is triangle ABC is
Is
congruent.
congruent to triangle XYZ.
Exactly. And notice that the order that I put my letters matches with the order on the, look at the colors. So A goes with X, B goes with Y, and C goes with Z. So
Oh,
if
they
I
match
write,
up.
right, so if I write A, B, C, I have to write the other one in the same order to show which ones match up. So A matches with X, B matches with Y, and C matches with Z. So when you see a congruence statement, it's showing you which of the points match up with which of the points on the other one. Any questions on that? It's like not a
Well,
hard
it's
thing.
simple.
Pretty simple. So we'll
It's
do
just
that.
once you know the thing, it just means congruence.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So now here, this is your turn now. I want you guys to write this on your sheet of paper, even though don't copy the graphs, just write your answers down. So what I want you to do is decide whether the two figures are congruent. So say yes or no. Then I want you to give me what type of transformation. And finally, I want you to give me a congruence statement if they are congruent.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay? So you have number 2 and number 3. I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes to do those 3 things for each one. 3 minutes start now.
Ms. Lopez, do you want us to send it to you?
Yeah, you can send it to me.
Okay.
Now remember, for the type of transformation, I want you to be very, very specific. If all you said was rotation, that's not specific enough. You have to tell me how many degrees, what direction. If all you said was reflection, Not enough. You got to tell me what is reflecting over.
What is the congruent statement symbol again?
It looks like this. Hold on.
Okay, thank you.
And you can't find it on the keyboard, so if you're sending me your answers, you can just write equals. All right. That's it. All right, so for number 1, are they congruent?
Yes.
Good. What is the type of transformation? Be specific.
Reflection over the x-axis.
Very good. Okay. And what is my congruence statement?
Will this be a square?
This is a quadrilateral or a parallelogram. We'll go over all the different types of shapes, but this one would be called a parallelogram.
Okay, so parallelogram ABCD is, wait, how do you say it again?
Just is congruent to.
Is congruent to parallelogram WYXZ.
Careful. Look again. What matches up with B?
Z or X?
X.
X.
So WXYZ?
Yeah, there you go. And the nice thing is, like, most of the time, they're not going to be annoying about it. Most of the time, it goes in the right order, right? Like, alphabetically, A, B, C, D, and then alphabetically, W, X, Y, Z is in the same order. Okay, very good. Any questions on number 2?
No.
All right, number 3. How about here? Are they congruent?
Yes.
Good. Now, here's a trickier question. What is the type of transformation?
It's a wait, no.
I think it's a reflection over line. Is that 2? Yeah, that's negative
It's
2.
over
Right?
the y-axis.
Over
It's
line x
Oh, over
equals
line.
3.5, negative 3.5.
very
Oh,
close. Look at the
know.
scale. What's the
Just -3.
just -3. Yeah.
Oh, I'm dumb.
Because this is going by 2s, right?
Oops.
So the
Yeah.
line in the middle of -2 and -4, that's just -3.
Close enough.
yeah, pretty close. Good job, Perla.
So this is a reflection over x equals -3. Good job. All right, and then finally, what's my congruence statement?
Wait, I can't see the letter the line is blocking. Is that J?
That is which one? Oh, yeah, that's a J.
Triangle JKL is congruent to triangle XYZ.
Good job. Nice job, Tyrone. Killing it today. I love that. All right. So do I have any questions on writing congruent statements or figuring out what type of transformation?
Nope.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you only write the triangle in front of the letters when it's a triangle?
Yeah, basically. You don't need
So-
to do anything for, the reason is because parallelograms and, you know, pentagons and anything with more letters, that, like when I have 4 letters, I know that that's going to be a quadrilateral. I know that it has 4 sides. When you write 3 letters, it could be a triangle. So I could have triangle ABC. But if I have 3 letters, it might be just an angle. So between triangles and angles, you always want to distinguish if you have a triangle or if you're talking about an angle. Good question, though. Any other questions?
Nope.
All right. Okay, so from here on out, I just have a bunch of different test questions. And so what I've done is I made them all into quizzes. So let me see if I can figure out how to do this. This is my first time doing this, so I'm gonna just tell me what comes up for you guys.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Oh, we just came up. Yeah, that's so cool.
Really
Oh my
cool.
god.
All
It's
right.
like a
awesome.
poll.
Okay,
I'm
so
shook.
you're shook.
Shook it.
Yes, to the
All right,
core.
so you should have a poll that's up, and there's a bunch of questions. We're gonna go one at a time. So for now, you should only be answering question number 1.
Miss,
Alright.
oh, never mind. I got it. Never mind.
Okay.
Never knew you could do this. This is why Zoom is so much better than K-12.
Oh yeah, Zoom is the best. Okay, so here's question number 1. Who would like to read it for us?
Me.
Go ahead.
Trapezoid ABCD was transformed to create trapezoid GHEF. Which composition of transformations can be used to show that the trapezoids are congruent?
Awesome. All right, so I want you guys to read through the answer choices. I'm gonna put about 2 minutes on the clock. Now, what I would need everybody to do is respond. This is going to go towards a participation grade. So I need to see that there are 7 people here. So I should see 7 answers for each question. It's not going to tell the whole class what you chose. So it's anonymous and it's private. So everybody needs to be participating. So your 2 minutes begin now. And I'm going to move it a little so you guys can see what it says. Or, there we go.
Miss
Well,
Lopez,
after
so you can.
question, oh, sorry.
Oh. No, you go. I'll ask later.
After each question, are we going to go over or are we just going to continue and go over at the end?
We'll go over each question one at a time.
Okay, Pearly, you can go now.
So you can see who put what answer, right?
I can't, no. I just know that
Oh.
7 people voted or 7 people did not vote. It's anonymous.
Oh.
I think. We'll see. As soon as you have your answer, you can vote. I'm gonna add 1 minute because nobody has answered it yet.
I answered.
Yeah, I answered too. It's just that I guess we have to do the whole 10 questions.
Oh.
I answered it.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it doesn't update it live. Okay. Did anybody not answer it yet?
Thumbs up if you answered it.
No, just tell me if any of you have not answered it yet. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to end the poll to see if it gives me the results. It doesn't. That's weird. I don't know why. Let me see. Give me 1 moment, guys. Let me just, this is my first time doing this, so I just need to figure some stuff out.
Maybe like you only put 1 question per poll and then you submit and then you can see everybody's answers. You just have to change it every time.
Yeah, that seems to be what I have to do. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Let me see if that worked. That did not work. let me try one more thing. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay, try now. Put in the answer you chose. Just put it in again. Now it's working. Okay, there we go. Okay, I have 4 votes out of 7. Five votes out of 7. 6 votes out of 7. I'm waiting on one more person. 7. Okay, there we go. All right. Does it show you the answer? Or no?
No, it just submits it.
Okay, now I'm going to click on share results. So I don't know what that's going to do. Do you see it now?
Wait, so the answer was
Oh,
C?
yes, I see it.
It doesn't tell you, I'm not telling you the correct answer yet. It's just showing you who voted for what.
Yeah, but it shows like a different color.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a setting I need to fix. But basically, the correct answer was
C.
not C,
B.
B.
Yay, I
Okay.
was correct.
So 2 out of the 7 people got it right. So that means I got to go over it. So I think that's what I'll do. If most people got it wrong, I'm going to go over it. So why is it B? Let's look. A translation according to the rule y comma x becomes y comma, sorry, x, wow, I can't talk. A translation according to the rule x comma y becomes x comma y minus 2. So can somebody put this into English words? What does this mean?
Okay, so the A, B, C, and D goes down 2 units for each letter. Then it reflects across the y-axis, which
Perfect.
makes the
Yeah.
E, F, G, H.
Perfect. So exactly what Daniel just said. So the blue trapezoid is going to move down
The trapezoid.
2 units. So it's going to be here now. And from there, it reflects over the y-axis. Do you guys see how that new trapezoid will match up with the pink trapezoid once it's reflected?
Oh, yeah.
That? Do I have any questions? If you chose the different answer, would anyone like to explain why they thought it was something else?
I chose A because I wasn't looking properly at the rule to see that it was down to units. That's why.
Yeah. What does this say?
I can see why people choose C, though.
What does this one say? This blue one.
It's saying that you move it 2 units to the left instead of moving it down, and then you reflect it across, and then you don't even reflect it. You just move it 2 units back.
Yeah, well, this one was saying
after you rotate it.
right.
But rotating it wouldn't do anything.
Right, rotating it would make it point in
Upside
the
down.
wrong direction. Yeah, it would be in the wrong direction. So that's why A was wrong.
I can see why some people chose C.
Why would you think some people chose C?
Because when they read the answer, they saw the reflection over the x-axis. They probably didn't read that, but they saw the y minus 2,
Mm-hmm.
and they saw it go down, and they probably got the reflect over the y-axis confused with the reflect over the x-axis.
Yeah, so C is trying to make sure if you understand
that all the time.
the reflections in the correct order. Nice job, Daniel. Any other questions?
I used to.
No, good job, Daniel.
All right. Here's another one. Let me start reading it and let me figure out if I can somehow make like the correct answer show up. Hold on. Let me stop sharing that. Just start reading it to yourself.
I'm ready.
Okay. I don't think there's a way to show the correct answer or to like tell Zoom which one's the correct answer. So I'm just gonna, it's just gonna be the same as last time.
Or something.
Okay, here we go. Once you have your choice, you can go ahead and make it. I have 2 votes, 3 votes, 4 votes, 5, 2 more, 6, and 7. All right. The majority of you guys voted for C, and that
I
is
got
in
it
fact
correct.
that is in fact the correct answer. Which ones could you eliminate right
How
away?
easy
Should
GG.
automatically eliminate
It should automatically
2.
eliminate A, B, and D.
Okay, but based, if you weren't sure which quadrant it ended up at, what else could you eliminate based on?
A and B.
Why?
B and no, you would A and D, not A and B.
A and D. Why would you eliminate those?
So it says that it's not congruent.
They say that
No,
it's
B and
not
D because they
yeah,
are coordinates. They're the same shape.
congruent, right? If they're the
Congruent.
same, if it was reflected, we know a reflection is a rigid motion. We know it's going to stay congruent. So we could get rid of B and D because both of those say that it's not congruent.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah, so you would have to choose from A and C, and nobody.
Right. And
so.
if my triangle was in quadrant 1 and it was reflected across the x-axis, I know that it's going to go
Down.
down, right? So it's going to end up on this side. Nice job, guys. Answer choice C was correct.
Yay.
Questions, anyone?
No.
All right.
I had written down where the quadrants are, so I had known where it was.
Oh God, what is this?
That's something you can totally do on your tests. All right, this one's a little bit longer, so let me read it. Triangle WXY has vertices. W is at -5, 7, X is at -5, 3, and Y is at -2, 3. Triangle BCD has vertices. B is at -5, 6, C is at -5, 1, and D is at -2, 1. Select the statement that is true. This one's a little tougher. It doesn't have a nice chart. It doesn't have a nice graph. So you really have to know your rules for this one.
Easy. Done.
I have 2 answers in. It's definitely a little longer, so it's okay if it takes you a little longer. Got 4 answers. I'm just missing one more person. That last person has 5 seconds to make a choice, even if you're guessing. 5, 4, good. All right. Tricky, right? Tricky, tricky. Let's see what we got.
Kind of, because you have to look at the
It was not
vertices.
tricky at all. The answer is D.
Okay, the correct answer is,
D.
Daniel's correct. It is D.
Yay!
It's
Now,
first of all, it's the only one that says not congruent. And
Yeah.
if you chose anything else, it's I don't know why, because none of the the Y numbers match with the with the other Y points.
right. So,
All you
okay,
had to do
so
was look at the points. You didn't even have to read the whole thing.
Okay, Daniel, you're so excited.
I love that. Okay, so let's actually look real quickly. Let's look at this a little more carefully. We know that we're trying to prove whether WXY is congruent, we don't know if it is, to BCD, which means W has to match up with what?
W has to match up with B.
B.
B, right? So let's look at what happens. To go from W to B, what transformation happens? W to B.
You go down 9 degrees.
You go down how many? You start
9.
at 7, even
You-
more than 9.
Oh wait, I forgot. I was looking at the one next to it. It is 13.
13, yeah.
Hmm.
It goes down 13 units. What happens to B, or sorry, X? X versus C. To go from X to C, what happens?
X to C, you have to go to the right. Wait,
No.
Does the X variable change? The X coordinate?
no, it's still
No.
-5.
Still
All
negative
the
5.
X coordinates are all
Yeah.
the X coordinates are correct, just not the Y coordinates.
Right. So since the Y is the one that's changing, we know it's going up or down. And we start at 3 and we end up at -1. So how many units did it go down?
Down 4,000 million hundred 4.
Down 4 units. And then Y versus D, how do I go from Y to D?
I'm gonna let someone else answer that one.
Me too.
It's basically the same thing as the last one.
What happens there? You start at -1. Sorry, no, you start at 3 and it goes down to -1. So what happens?
They literally have the same Y coordinates as the last one. So all you gotta do is look at X to see.
Mm-hmm.
Down 4.
Same thing, down 4 units. Exactly.
Yay, someone answered.
So because they're all moving down, but what happens between W and B?
W and B goes down 13 units instead of down 4.
Down 13. So they're not going by the same amount. So we know that that's not going to be congruent.
Maybe if all 3 were going down 4 units, they would have been congruent, but
Exactly. If all 3 had gone down by 4, that would have been answer choice C. But that's not what happened. All right. Next one has a lot. I think this one was from a test, from like last year's test. So now I have to add some answer choices to this poll. Hold on.
Wait a second.
Start reading it.
Easy.
And this one is select all that apply. So make sure.
Oh wait, we're just looking for the ones that are congruent.
Okay. This is select all that apply. So make sure when you're choosing, you know it's going to be more than one answer. While you guys are reading through, I'm going to read it out loud. So Blair draws a triangle on a coordinate plane and performs a series of transformations on it. Select all transformations that will result in an image that is congruent to Blair's original figure. So which of these will be congruent?
Am I the only one that doesn't know what a dilation is?
We kind of talked about it a little bit earlier today. But usually when you don't know what it is, what does that mean? If I've never said it before.
Wrong.
Wait, you don't know what a dilation is?
Okay, I have 2 answers in. Four votes are in. This is the type of question I don't want you to overthink it. Don't overthink. Let's go, guys. 3 people are left. I'm giving you 5 seconds to make your choices because we got to move on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Here we go. So this was a multiple one, so let's go through each one real quick. Number 1, or letter A, rotation. Is that allowed?
No.
First of all, what makes something congruent? What are the possible?
They have to be the same size, same shape, and
That's it. But remember, what matters, I want to know what types of transformations will get you something congruent. There's only 3. What are they? What types of transformations?
reflection,
Mm-hmm.
translation,
Mm-hmm.
and
Transformation.
Mm-mm.
dilation.
Dilation?
Wait,
Rotation.
no.
What's a
Okay.
dilation?
I'm so glad.
That's the one where you
all the
enlarge.
ones with dilation.
Dilation is not going to give you congruent because that's what makes the one that gets bigger or gets smaller.
So, is it C, D, and E?
So it's going to be anything that does not have a dilation. So does A have a dilation?
Oh wait, I can't see. Yeah, no.
No dilation. That's going to be congruent.
No, I thought
Does
it was because
B
it was
have a
a
dilation?
rotation of 100.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's not it.
So this can't be
Dang
it. How about C?
Okay, I didn't choose A.
No.
No.
No, there's 2 translations.
I
That's
got it
fine.
wrong, but I didn't choose
D.
A.
Any
It's
dilations
fine.
here? That one's
No,
No.
E,
fine. E
no,
E is
F.
fine and F is not fine.
and F is not fine. So it was A, C, D, and E.
I thought because it was rotated by 100 degrees. It
Doesn't
was.
matter how much you rotate it, it's going to stay the same. As you can do it as many times as you want in whatever direction, it's still going to be congruent.
Yay.
3.
1, 2, 3. A,
Oh
B,
God,
C,
I
D,
can't
E, F.
unmute.
Okay, here's another one. Same idea. Select all that apply. And as you guys are working, I'll read it out loud. Triangle ABC is shown in the XY coordinate plane. The triangle will be rotated 180 degrees clockwise around the point 3, 4 to create triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. Which characteristics of A prime, B prime, C prime will be the same for the corresponding characteristics of A, B, C? Select all that apply. I have 2 responses. Three responses are in. Giving you guys 30 more seconds because we're almost done with class. This will be our last question. Got 4 votes are in. Ten seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, I had 2 people who didn't vote. Here are the results. So the most common results were C, D, E, and F. I had 1 person vote for A and B. However, what happened? There's a rotation. When I rotate that triangle, is it going to be in the same place or a different place?
Different?
Different place.
It's going to be in a different place. So are the coordinates of A prime going to match with the coordinates of A?
No.
No. So A is wrong. Will the coordinates of B prime match up with the coordinates of B?
No.
No.
No, because it's going to be in a different place. Now let's think about perimeter. What is the perimeter of a figure? What does that mean?
Isn't it like the measurement of the line around it, not the inside but the outside?
Right, the measurement of everything around it. So if I have a triangle, and this is 2, this is 3, this is 7, what's the perimeter?
12?
12. What'd you do?
Add.
You just add them up together. So if will the perimeter of A prime, B prime, C prime be the same as the perimeter of ABC?
Yes.
Good. Because are they Do they look exactly the same or are they different?
They're the exact same shape, just in a different location.
Exact same place. Exactly what you said. Exact same shape, different location. So the side lengths of that shape are not going to change, which means the perimeter will be the same. What about the area?
The area will also be the same.
Exactly, because the area also works with the side measurements. And if the measurements have not changed, the area will stay the same. What about the measure of angle B? Will the measure of angle B prime be the same or different as the angle B?
The same?
Yeah, it'll also be the same because you haven't changed the size, you haven't changed the shape or anything. So of course, it's still going to be the same. And what about the length of segment A prime, B prime? Will that be the same as segment AB?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yay.
all four of these were correct.
Yay.
C, D, E, and F.
Yeah, I got it right.
Nice job.
Hey.
Okay. So today, what I'm going to do. Okay. So tomorrow I am going to be absent. It's okay. I have an interview for a medical school, so I got to do that.
Ooh.
Yay.
So you're gonna quit your job as a teacher and become
No,
a
I'll
nurse?
stay here.
Been
I'll
leaving
stay
already?
here. I'll be here for till the end of the year, so don't you worry. I'm not going anywhere.
So when we leave, you're leaving?
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the year.
We're lucky.
Yeah, you guys got lucky. So I will be absent tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign 2 videos and 2 assignments. So the idea is you have to watch the videos in order to complete the assignments because it's a little bit different than what I've been teaching in class. So it's important that you also watch the videos. Don't just try to do the assignments. Do the videos first. They're short. They're like 5 minutes each. So 2 videos and 2 assignments. They will be due not by midnight, but by 4 p.m., which means you should be doing them during class. This is not a homework assignment. This is an in-class assignment.
Do we have anything for today?
Nope.
Do we have any homework?
Nope, unless you count this as homework. But it's not. It's an in-class assignment. So it will be available starting at 12:30.
Good luck, you.
You good, Dan? Okay. It'll become available at the time class begins, which is 12:30, and it will close at 4 p.m. So you have to do it during those hours. Any questions on that?
No.
There won't be a Zoom, nothing like that. So it's just this Khan Academy. And I'll put a reminder on Teams. All right, so if that is all for today, I will see you guys not tomorrow, but I'll see you guys on Thursday.
Excuse me, I forgot my con password.
You forgot your Khan password.
Yeah, I have.
Didn't I tell you to write it down?
You did?
Yeah, obviously I did.
Remember that. I don't remember that.
Okay, Daniel, stay a couple minutes so that I can find the password. Everybody else, you can go.
All right. Bye, Miss Lopez.
Bye, guys.